Hey, we're live. This is Dr. Dan Purser. The date is 1/12/25, my first Facebook Live for this year. Sorry, I've been absent. I've been really sick. I had this awful cold that everyone's getting, and just really nuked me.
That's kind of what we want to talk a little bit about tonight, right?
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to do an intro or anything?
Yeah, do the intro for Facebook Live, and then you got questions there you need to stay up on, Jackson.
Okay, sounds good. There's my input. Intro's rolling. I'm not playing recording tonight, so
Just make sure you need to hit me with the questions whenever I have any comments.
definitely.
So our goal is to do this at least every other week, more often as we get more free time. I've been super swamped with patients. We're trying to change things up a little so I have more time to talk to you guys and keep educating. It's really what I like to do. Jackson's going to be asking me questions about everything. So Jackson, lead the way and just start hitting the questions.
So yeah, you were mentioning it's been a while since we've had our last Facebook Live. It's been like over a month at least, maybe almost 2 months. I can't remember.
Like 3
exactly.
years, I think, or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got really sick. I was worried about you because
it was harsh.
It was bad for a while. I was
yeah,
really
and
worried.
Christmas and New Year's, I just laid in bed.
Yeah,
that whole week, it was just like, oh.
It was really sad to watch.
And at my age, when you lay in bed, you detrain quickly, you decondition quickly.
Yeah.
It took me a few days just to get to be able to walk again.
Yeah, definitely.
But then my Brandy's grandson got really sick with it, and it took him, I think he's taking 2 or 3 days to start walking again. He's 3.
Wow. What were you taking? What were you taking 2 or 3 a day of?
I was taking like 8 glutathione today, VARS Glutathione.
You got VARS Glutathione right.
Yeah, it's extremely antiviral, and that's kind of what we're talking about tonight. Glutathione, the future glutathione. There's a lot of hot information out there floating around about glutathione, how people develop this complex or that, or done this or done that. We're going to kind of deflate their balloons and kind of lay out there where we're at, what we've got, and what I've done, because we have the only patented oral glutathione. That means it's validated. We'll talk about that, the history of all that, and how it occurred. Jackson, lead the way.
Yeah. So why VARS Glutathione? Why were you taking so many of them?
It's super antiviral. It's the most antiviral substance you make in your body, and so when you get really sick like that, take VARS. It's very antiviral. It kept me from going south. So
that's amazing.
I mean, south in a really bad way.
So with VARS, I mean, we definitely worked to create a special name for it. Why VARS? VARS. What does that mean? Why did you call it that?
So when I was down in Southern California doing research with the university down there, Nayan Patel, Chin Tron, Dr. Patel and Dr. Tron, they're both PhD pharmacologists at Keck. They're on our pituitary endocrinology team, cardiology team at SC also. And we, whenever we weren't working on cases, we were trying to figure out how to make things, fun things like progesterone that actually worked, natural progesterone, and how to make it smooth and simple and everything. But what we mostly spent time on was glutathione. No one had ever made a functional glutathione. You need to get that in your head, you guys. There are tons of glutathiones on Amazon. They just don't work very well, if at all. I don't think most of them work at all because they're oxidized. They're not bottled correctly. They're not preserved. They're not handled. It's not that the glutathione molecule itself is bad and that it doesn't have glutathione in it. It just isn't in reduced form and it's not absorbable. So you got several issues there. So when we were doing that research, trying to make the first functional glutathione, and Nayan and Chin and I, well, those two guys did it. Really, I did the clinical trials on it for him and helped him with some of the patent work. But and Nayan, I think, says I'm on the patent. I don't know if I am for sure. I think he's mistaken. But they let us sell it here because I was so involved with it. We call it Eternal Youth. They call it Glutaril. That's through Oral Pharma in La Habra. That's where we'd go. They hadn't built out their biotech yet. It's a spray. Glutathione, it's pricey. It's really good. It's excellent stuff. And it's just, while they were doing that, I was also developing the first oral form of glutathione that actually works. So the reason we call it VARS, so it had to be, first of all, it has to be validated. If the product isn't validated, it doesn't work. This works for all antioxidants. these are what we now call the laws of antioxidants. Because if it's not validated, it doesn't work. So you hear all these people say, we got this glutathione, I came out with this new complex, I did this, I did that. Really, is it validated? Show me the validation. Show me how you validated it. Because we had to go through a big process to do that. And we had to do it to the extremes that the U.S. Patent Office required. And if you don't meet that standard, you're not validated. It's because it doesn't work. It doesn't raise levels. It doesn't do jack. So you might as well be taking candy or water or something. Had to be absorbable either orally or topically. Rectal suppositories and IV aren't really usable by the major portion of the population. So it's not a very viable product that people can use and actually benefit from if you only do it rectally or sorry to bring that up, but there are rectal suppositories pharmacies make, or give it IV. And there's other problems with the IV stuff. We'll get to that later.
We'll dive into all that.
I know probably more about glutathione because of our biotech work, my decades of work on it. So when Nine and I were and Chin and I were talking about it, it's like that math problem that's been around for 70, 80 years and no one can solve. This is a pharmacologic problem that no one had ever been able to solve. And they tried making L-glutathione, they tried making other forms of it, all this, none of it ever worked. When I talk about validated, it's got to work that day. So you can use it in ERs, you can use it wherever. It's got to have a rapid response. It can't be months for the level to come up a little. And there's certain major products out there that claim that, but it's after 6 months of use and it's come up a hair. So on average, so I get it. That's not real validation. Well, they validated that it came up a little, but not much. Our validation showed, everyone we gave it to, it came up dramatically in the first day, and then by the end of the week, it was dramatically higher on reduced glutathione.
Yeah, reduced glutathione. Do you remember on that study, was it that you were looking at blood serum levels of glutathione and the ratio between reduced and oxidized glutathione?
And we also looked at intracellular levels too.
Mm-hmm.
So later, and added that to the patent information. So we knew it affected all levels. So it had to be validatable, had to be absorbable, and it had to be reduced. The problem with almost all the ones on Amazon are they're oxidized. They do nothing to protect them from oxidization. So they're garbage. They're stale. They don't have any activity. They don't really do any good because most people need glutathione and excess glutathione because they're oxidizing, using up the glutathione they have. So it's a real problem. And so VARS, the last one is stable. It has to be shelf stable at least a year, if not ideally 2 years. If it's not, what good is it going to do if it's a day stable or if it's a week stable or 3 months stable? And by the time it gets to market, it's already oxidized. So you got to choose the right bottle. You got to choose the right material. You got to just, it's a big process. And you can read our patent we're awarded. We've been awarded patents internationally all over the world. And our new technology we're borrowing it from another company that's helping us make it. And it's a new encapsulation process that keeps it all the way we want it to be kept, properly reduced form and all that. And it's just their process. And they figured out a really cool really good encapsulation form that lyophilizes it and then encapsulates it. Super cool.
All right, so we've talked about a lot in just a very quick, brief amount of time.
Right, we're getting into the weeds here. But I promised everyone I'd be doing this eventually.
Definitely.
Someone needs to hear the real talk on glutathione because all these people are coming out with other forms of it. It's just why? Yeah. Really give up because we shut the door. We're pretty sure we shut the door. We didn't mean to, but we realized afterwards we did, on anyone else making a glutathione that's oral.
Yeah.
Or topical, probably. They're only a couple of pathways, and we have patents on them both. So any other way, and nope, not going to work.
So we're getting back to just very basics of glutathione. There may be some people here, this is the first time that they've ever even heard the word glutathione. Yeah. So I do want to just mention a couple of those things. Glutathione is the master antioxidant in our bodies. It
is. It's 2 million, molecule to molecule, 2 million times more aggressive, more grabby, more potent than vitamin C, for example. 2 million times. Meaning it'll go after an oxidant or a toxin or something 2 million times more aggressively than vitamin C will.
Yeah.
It's like the grandfather of all vitamin C's. It's the great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Thor,
Mm-hmm.
of vitamin C.
And it's an antioxidant that exists in almost every cell of your body, as well as
You
floating around
should,
in your
or you're
blood.
in deep trouble.
Yeah. Right along the electron transport chain in the mitochondria, glutathione is one of the critical antioxidants for helping protect against the oxidative stress and damage that comes just from cellular respiration.
That's right.
Yeah. And so
You're using fancy words
sorry,
again. I can't
yeah.
follow you. So the number one symptom you're going to get with low glutathione is brain fog.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, they say it's not supposed to pass the blood-brain barrier. They're wrong. They're wrong on so many things. We know all this now from our work with it, our biotech work,
So
our patent work.
if our bodies are already making this, and if it's so critical, why do we need it as a
Why
supplement?
do we sell it?
Yeah.
Because as we get older, we quit making enough of it because we get vitamin deficiencies or amino acid deficiencies like glutamine and stuff like that. That prevents us, or serine or whatever, that prevents us from making the glutathione. It's really just a tripeptide. It's 3 amino acids bonded together, and one of them has a sulfide group on it that's the sticky part, the smelly part. That's the supramolecular sticky part. It's the stickiest substance literally in your body because it can grab anything, metals, viruses, anything with that. So white blood cells use it and grab things with it. They use it like a spear to grab whatever with it. So this is a white blood cell. This is the glutathione, the yellow thing. And it's going around, floating around, grabbing things that shouldn't be in your body. And then the white blood cell takes it to your kidneys or your liver or your bowels, and out it goes.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Exactly.
But you want it to work aggressively. You need it fresh. You need it reduced. A lot of people genetically have oxidation problems. They can't recycle it properly.
Yeah. So you'd mentioned a couple of times exactly about this. Glutathione itself as a molecule is extremely reactive. It's ready to do its job.
Yeah, you let it get to air and it kills it.
And so that's exactly where everyone in the world that's ever made a glutathione product where they've gone wrong.
Yeah.
Because so even like on bulk ingredients, that's an ingredient supplier or bulksupplements.com.
Yeah, yeah.
You can buy reduced glutathione in a bag.
It's not reduced.
Yeah, but as soon as you open that bag, then it's
I
going
don't
to
think it's
start
reduced in the bag either.
I don't think so either. I don't think they did a nitrogen purge on that bag when they sealed it closed or whatever.
Yeah.
So glutathione is that reactive.
You can't let it get exposed to air. That's part of that's our patent process. A big part of it. We never let it see air.
Yeah,
It's these argon gas. It's these other things. But
yeah. And so the different iterations that you've worked on over all these years, what you were talking about with Nayan Patel in the Glutaril, or our Eternal Youth Glutathione, uses a very specialized sugar molecule or sugar complex essentially to hold the glutathione in place in its reduced form.
And you can look at Nayan Patel. He got interviewed by Gary Brecka about 2 or 3 months ago. I don't think Gary Brecka likes me because of that big reaction video I did about him on the Joe Rogan show. Mm-hmm. Got a couple million views on that. I think you can find it somewhere. But the glutathione that's the one 9 Chin worked on. Yeah,
that same version maybe has a couple more flavors in there, but exactly.
I don't know about flavors
or scenting. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, Nine's altered a little. It's really cool.
Yeah,
he's done really good work with it. It's an amazing product.
Yeah.
And
then we made our liquid oral version and also in the liquid topical version that we sold for many years too. Yeah. But then, as you were talking about before, now we have this capsule version.
Yeah, because people kept bitching about the flavor. Excuse me, they keep complaining about the flavor.
We are live everywhere. We're not allowed.
Sorry. Okay. Well, people keep nagging us about the flavor and whining about it, and so we had to make the capsule version. I think sometime in the future we might revisit that, but who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Everything's always a possibility, which is great. So, but the capsule version, I want to take a minute and just really talk about what we've done with this one. You were talking about the specialization that they did with these liposomes, because this capsule version is a liposomal glutathione.
Right. They call it true liposome, their technology.
Exactly. And everyone that knows glutathione knows liposomal glutathione is your best option for
because the glutathione hides in there from oxidation.
Exactly.
Theoretically.
So ours, theoretically, takes it even one step further, where the other problem is when you take glutathione orally, and swallow it, goes into your stomach. It gets broken down in your stomach into those 3 amino acids that you were talking about. Basically, it's the same as taking NAC and glutamate or whatever the other 2 amino acids are. And so, but that's where VARS Glutathione, the system that you were talking about, how we keep it away from oxygen throughout the whole thing, is that we have encoded the liposomes themselves so that they can survive the stomach acids and be absorbed in the gut where it can actually be used. Where a reduced glutathione can actually be absorbed into the body.
We've gotten a lot of validation with that too. How did we get the validation? We lowered IL-8 levels with people with high homocysteine. That's a conversation we're going to have here in a minute, but we've done tons of those.
I posted a video this morning of you talking about homocysteine and exactly that, the way that it deals with the cytokines. And let's dive into that a little bit more.
Yeah, this is going to be a deep dive. You guys get ready. And I'm going to teach you more about glutathione than you ever wanted to know. Sorry, you may want to bounce in and out or come back and listen to this later.
So 2 other things real quick. I would just want to say hello to everyone on Instagram. We've had like around 30
Instagram
followers.
People. Hey,
this is our first time we've ever been live on Instagram.
Oh, hey, buddies. Hey, guys.
That's
gals.
really fun. I'm glad we're able to do that.
This is Dr. Dan Purser. I don't know if you know who I am, but you're going to learn, I guess. So. I'm an MD. I deal with root cause issues. And I think I have almost 700 5-star reviews. I want to get to 1,000 before I die, but I don't think I'm going to die. So I might get to 2,000. Who knows?
Take your glutathione, you're good to go.
Oh man! Well, they say if you're high, so the NIH says if you have a high enough glutathione level, you won't develop plaque in your arteries. You can't.
Yeah. For
a number of reasons. That doesn't even get into the homocysteine aspect. So, go ahead, keep asking me your questions, Jackson.
Yeah. So, getting into validation, we were kind of talking about that with our IL-8 levels. Why is it important to validate a product like this?
Because you got to know it works. You got to know beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's got to be from a properly vetted company. It's got to be done right. We use our validation to get our patents because no one else ever validated one before.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. And there's other antioxidants that we validate that no one else ever has because these people don't even know what they're doing with them.
Yeah,
and our patent covers so many things, so many other antioxidants.
Oh, the one other thing I was going to mention with the patent and in our process of obtaining that patent, you had written a book called the Glutathione book about the history.
Oh, let's not mention that.
No, just a lot of what we talked about here tonight. But that book itself was even a problem for your patent because you had been putting out so much information about what you're doing, validating these products.
Yeah, they almost held it against us and wouldn't give us the patent.
Yeah,
we took care of it.
Mm-hmm. So it just goes to show, I mean, you know what you're talking about there. You've done so much work with.
Yeah, these other guys are just kind of guessing and just kind of playing games and really I can't say they're just taking your money. They think they're giving you a product that works, but ask them if they have validation, really.
Yeah.
And they don't. None of them do.
Yeah. One other thing I want to mention right now on physiciandesign.com and on the TikTok shop.
Yeah.
These VARS Glutathione capsules are 15% off just for tonight during this live as we're talking about it. So make sure
I'd grab some.
Jump on there, get some. Yeah. It is on Amazon as well. If you want to order it on there, it's not. There's no discount on it tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, physiciandesign.com. Use the code MASTER ANTIOXIDANT.
MASTER ANTIOXIDANT.
Mm-hmm.
Use the code MASTER ANTIOXIDANT.
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice is kind of reedy.
Mine too.
Mine's not very deep tonight.
Yeah, we're both feeling that. That's okay. It's a new year, a new voice.
Dry air, cold out. I'm got over this horrible nightmare cold. Okay.
So what are the most critical points or the most beneficial uses of glutathione?
Man, when we looked at the data, when we did our clinical trials, we found 34 new drug indications. With it, I don't know. We haven't been FDA approved, so anything I mentioned would be stuff like the NIH just like that and everything else. So it's not exactly I'm shedding new light on this or making stuff up. How do we approach that? Number one, tardive dyskinesia. The NIH did lots of studies on various antioxidants in tardive dyskinesia. They even used a reduced glutathione to test it for tardive dyskinesia back in, I think, 04, 05 when they did this study. I could be wrong on that date, but it's way back then. And they said it didn't work. The problem I have with that is we hadn't invented a reduced glutathione yet. How did they get that back in 2004, 2005? Why wasn't it a thing? Why wasn't anyone selling it? Maybe I know a lot of people on Amazon say they have reduced liposomal glutathione. They don't. Trust me, they do not. And they got to show me how they kept it from oxidation, all that. I can tell you that most of them have bottle problems. That's easy. We bought 70 of them off Amazon. We still keep buying new ones. They're still not meeting the requirements. But they couldn't have had a reduced glutathione to do the study. So I don't know how they got that data. And they said it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, they were totally wrong.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. And it works quickly and within 3 to 8 weeks, even in the worst cases.
All those points we were talking about of the manufacturing and getting the product into a usable form for someone to use.
How did they have a supposed reduced? They did that with a lot of different studies that they said they don't tell you what product they had. They don't tell you where they got it. That's really weird that you do that. You don't have a product that you list on your study that you used. Yeah. I don't get how they did that.
It's hard. In vitro, in the lab, they may show that it's a reduced glutathione, but then as soon as they actually go to use it on a person, it's going to oxidize.
Yeah, it's going to oxidize.
Yeah. So it's difficult.
So tardive dyskinesia is interesting. Various neuropathies, especially SIPN, chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy. There's some really big things we discovered we can get to later in here, but fibromyalgia, we got our patent based on the work we did with that, and because it helps you move heavy metals around, and if you're low on it, and most fibro patients are very low on it, it's a game changer for them.
Yeah, I will say the 3 benefits that everyone that has a glutathione product, the things that the FDA has allowed people that market their products.
For, I should say this.
No, it's good. I think it's just good to mention too is
what the NIH is finding.
Antioxidant support, obviously.
Okay.
Master antioxidant. 2 is detoxification. It's extremely.
We can say that. I thought that was a no-no.
On TikTok specifically, when you're trying to sell the product, they don't want detox products on there. But talking about glutathione in general, that's the number one thing it's for.
The FDA allows that.
Yeah, that's what glutathione helps support in the liver, everything. It's the number one detoxifier that our body uses.
For certain liver conditions.
Yeah.
It is a massive game changer. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And
you're talking about you get liver fever or swamp fever. I don't know. Who knows? Or it could be something more.
That's the beauty of what we can do tonight. We can really talk about all these things.
Oh, I can?
Yeah, feel free. We're not openly selling or anything other than just pushing it to our own website. So it's okay. We're okay to talk about what we can really do with glutathione.
I think the biggest thing I've found in the last few years, I think the biggest future for a true functional reduced glutathione in liquid form is med beds because of what it does for burns. What it does for burns is incredible. It's probably the most massively game-changing thing for ICUs and ERs and burn units. That's the future of glutathione. Reduced, stable glutathione is to use it as a wash. Imagine a 6-year-old little boy with burns over 70% of the body is going to die, probably, or he's going to be so scarred up he'll never be able to function or work. You lay him in that med bed, you flush the glutathione over him. It's got to be done properly, and that means it's going to have to be done through like our patent because we've already looked at all this. And we don't have FDA approvals or anything. I'm just saying this is what I predict the future will be for it. But 6 weeks later, without scrubbing him, without giving him massive antibiotics, without torturing him, without just letting him laying there at a 98.6 degree, or I don't know what it has to be, the ICU docs would know, tank of this glutathione, a bed of it floating in there, he'll have no scarring, complete rejuvenation of his skin, which is allowed to be said by the FDA, skin cell rejuvenation, and be able to get up and then put him through physical therapy, get his weight up, get him back normal, physically active, and you wouldn't have the pain. You don't have the pain with it. With a bad burn, it won't give you bad pain. It's insane what it does with burns.
Yeah.
I think that's the future of glutathione. Hopefully, God willing, if anyone has med beds out there wants to have a conversation with us, we will. We're ready to. So, I think IV glutathione has a really, really big future. There's not one out there that works currently. Of course not. I mean, it's the same thing as the stuff on Amazon. It's just they pour some powdered glutathione, shake it up in some water, and sterile IV fluid and give it to you. What is that?
They don't know any better.
They don't know any better. They think you're giving glutathione, and it says reduced on the powder bottle, but it's not reduced. It's oxidized trash. So, and you may think you feel better, but if it was working, they'd be using the ICUs. They'd be using the ERs for alcohol and Tylenol detox. Trust me, we know that market, and we know where we're headed with our stuff. So, and no, we're not a publicly traded company. No, we're not asking for money. No, we're not trying to sell anything. I just say the future is IV glutathione. That's incredible, and med beds. Yeah. And because it's like you said, what was that like in that new Star Trek, where the people float in the bed in the water, or is that what is that? Is that Star Wars?
It's Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, you know Star Wars better. Yeah. Could you imagine being burned over 90% of your body, and then you sitting there, keep your head above the water so you don't drown? They feed you and everything else, and maybe let you out there a little every day, kind of lift you up. But yeah, just keep the water so you don't get hyperthermia or hypothermia. Yeah. Man, that'll do for the world.
And think about combining that with sod for that kind of.
So Jackson mentioned superoxide dismutase, which we also have patent applications on because we have the first functional one, just like glutathione. So superoxide dismutase, the three forms of SOD1, SOD2, SOD3, are all sisters to glutathione. They work together. There are two master antioxidants in your body, or actually four master antioxidants in your body. And they all work together because if you just go, let's say you can't make glutathione adequately or it's all been used up, and you just start taking SOD because you're so deficient in it or you genetically can't make it, you'll drop your pH because you'll create a lot of hydrogen peroxide. Superoxide dismutase and superoxides, which are oxygens minus 2 electrons. So it's getting kind of techy, but that it will create H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. And glutathione takes the hydrogen peroxide in turn and turns it into H2O and O2. So, and that's the way the body works, constantly, millions of times a second in your body. So just if you have something off with your superoxide dismutase, you'll get a lot of inflammation, horrible inflammation as you get older, a lot of other problems. Hey, if you're really screwed up on SOD1, you'll get ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, because it protects your nerves, and you die. So superoxide dismutase. So we made that Serum X product. We got a lot of interest from high ups, other people in the government elsewhere on that. We're going to circle back eventually and deal with that. Man, for mast cell stabilization. Anyway, let's not get into SOD too much. But,
I know, we'll jump into that. We'll do a whole other live on SOD.
Well, glutathione stabilizes monocytes, like SOD3 stabilizes mast cells. That's a whole other MIMCAS thing discussion for another day. But superoxide dismutase, let me skip that. Glutathione stabilizes monocytes, but that's where cytokines are produced. So you can shut down all the cytokine production if you have a high enough glutathione level. That's why it massively decreases inflammation.
Yeah.
So that's not my theory. You can go to PubMed and look it up.
Yeah. I want to dive in a little bit more about that IL-8. But real quick, just to mention a couple things that we did with burns and glutathione over the years. You have a bottle over here on your desk of our VARS Revive that we don't sell anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. Over on your right further. Oh. Yeah, that's another one. But
yeah. VARS Revive,
was a topical spray version.
And here's our VARS.
There's our liquid one.
Liposomal green fungus version. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. Was it mint Mint julep.
Mint burst was the name.
Mint
of
burst. Well,
one of the iterations.
That was.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention briefly what we even did with when your mom burnt herself.
86 years old. Yeah, full thickness burns. Let's not get into that.
Okay, I just
it took her 6 weeks, 86 years old, to completely heal, rejuvenate her skin. That's when we like, holy crap, what do we have here? Exactly. This is beyond amazing. But she used this version, actually.
That's right, yeah.
But this would have been better.
Yeah.
The VARS Revive. So, yeah, because it would have been a lot cleaner. Without the liposomes.
Even my sister, too, she was at Lake Powell this last summer, and there was some horrific boat accident. She's a nurse. Her husband's a fireman paramedic.
Oh, and she got stuck. She was out there resuscitating people.
Yep.
It was awful. The whole family flipped over.
They were both resuscitating kids, and my sister was out on a metal dock trying to save a kid, and she didn't have any shoes on. Didn't even realize, but the bottom of her feet were completely
Oh, that's
burnt.
What happened. And probably shoulders, too.
Yeah, but just standing on that hot metal for a half hour, she didn't realize.
Yeah, you don't think about it when you're doing that kind of work.
Yeah, terrible. But then she used the glutathione and saw it together, and her feet healed up so fast.
Yeah, these hypercharge your healing. I mean, without scarring and just a lot of other. Yeah, she took pictures of all that too, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you post those sometime?
Yeah. So the reason I talk about all that is just that we've only done very preliminary research on our own.
Yeah. We can't make any claims.
But the future is incredible.
It is.
We have some very, very powerful anecdotal evidence of what can really happen.
We'll see.
For truly healing people, which is so amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
if God blesses us, we get funding.
Yeah. Okay, so going back, I want to talk a little bit about what we've been doing just very recently. We were talking about homocysteine, talking about IL-8, and I was going to try to pull up.
So homocysteine is this incredible, horrible waste product that your body makes, cardiovascular waste product, that happens to be deadly because it causes heart attacks and strokes in people at a young age. It causes clotting. It causes deep venous thrombosis. It causes strokes, heart attacks. It causes what it really causes. The number one thing it causes is it's the number one cause of end-stage renal disease in the world. It causes kidney failure, high blood pressure, and kidney failure. I know Gary Brecka talked about TMG or something like that. He should have been talking about glutathione. Probably why he brought Nyan on. The truth of the matter is that if you have a high homocysteine level, you're going to get stiffening of the arteries. You're going to get, if it's high enough, you'll kill your kidney function, and you'll end up on dialysis. There's a guy in our neighborhood who went through all that. And if you take the glutathione quickly enough, or a glutathione that works and has validation quickly enough, you could probably reverse that. I'll just say that. I won't say it's for sure, but it's really promising. So what we're starting to see, because it stabilizes the monocyte. So homocysteine does not affect you directly. It causes it sends out two henchmen to do its job. I don't know why we have cytokines, but we have them. I don't know why God gave them to us, because they're terrible. They're horrible. Well, God works in mysterious ways, so we'll leave it at that. But one is called interleukin-8, IL-8. The other is called monocyte chemoprotectant 1, MCP1. So you can check IL-8, you can check MCP1. This is really hard to check. IL-8 is really easy to check. Your doctor can order it tomorrow. No doctors order homocysteine levels anymore or IL-8 levels because they said there's nothing you can do about it. But watch it drop like a stone if you get a high enough glutathione level. Yeah. And it goes back, it can go to normal. So you don't care where your homocysteine is. If you have genetic issues, any homozygosity of these 7 SNPs, MTHFR, C677T, MTHFR, A1298C, MTRR, MTR, FOLH1, GGH, CBS, guys, CBS the monster. Any of those will cause you to have, if you're homozygous on any of them, that means the bridge is out on your transsulfuration pathway, and you're going to get a high homocysteine level. And so I got to write a paper on that. I keep meaning to. It's going to be landmark, I think, a landmark paper finally. Someone finally explains all the mysteries of, there's 12 vitamin deficiencies that can give you a falsely elevated homocysteine level. and you can be falsely low if you're malnourished enough, which really screws everything up. So.
Yeah. So
you want, it's complicated.
Definitely, I love when you go through all these things, and because it all just fits together perfectly. For most people, they're not going to follow along with everything that you just said.
Yeah.
But go back and watch some of the other videos of Dr. Purser talking about homocysteine, because he breaks down exactly that. Parts of the methylation cycle where you have all these deficiencies that are going to cause higher homocysteine levels, and then the transsulfuration cycle is the way that glutathione is used and created and everything else in
How
your
you
body.
detox too.
How you detox. And so if there's holes genetically in that cycle, you're going to have all kinds of issues.
Oh, heavy metals. There are all kinds of weird crap that you can't explain. Massive inflammation your whole life. You're born into it, so you don't even know you have it until you're about 40s, 50s, and you go, holy crap, I'm not like other people. I felt terrible all the time.
Yeah.
I hurt. Now I realize what I used to feel like when I was a kid. I was hurting. I couldn't play sports, or if I did, I hurt. Whatever. I deal with that all day long. And again, read my Google reviews.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a personal experience of that as well.
Yeah.
My whole life was just pain for a long time.
How many VARS are you taking?
I take at least 2 to 4 every day.
Well, I take like 6 or 8 right now.
Yeah. I probably should up mine more.
Yeah, you should.
But yeah.
You can, and you can track those IL-8s.
That's true. I've never tracked my IL-8 specifically, but I need to. So go back, check out the other videos, and I think we have a couple other posts like on Substack and on our website too, showing off some of the charts that we've been talking about with homocysteine, the way that it works in the methionine cycle.
I've got a friend who's an editor for major like New England Journal and some of the others. He wants me to write that article because it really changed the world on homocysteine. Right now, doctors don't even check it, and if they do, they're like, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
and that's just BS now.
Definitely. Again, they don't know better, but
they don't know better.
That is the one thing I will always say. What you have discovered and the way that you've found that all these pathways connect with the genetics and connect with the intracellular deficiencies that you deal with, it's very treatable.
Yeah.
We're not curing diseases.
Can't cure it. Can't cure diseases. You can just mitigate it.
You can manage it.
Yeah, mitigation is more the proper thing.
Yeah, which is amazing. And
which means you get rid of the problem, kind of, but it's still there. It's always there.
Yeah.
You just don't. It's just negate it.
Yeah.
Mitigate it.
So if you have a high homocysteine level, what are some of the top symptoms or other diseases that causes for people?
Oh, cardiovascular disease, heart attack, strokes. I kind of went through birth defects, a lot of early premature abortions or miscarriages. Sorry, doctors call them abortions. They're either medical abortions or natural abortions. But yeah, sorry about that. And miscarriages inflammation that you can't get rid of, high HSCRP or CRP, high D-dimer are all caused by high homocysteine. By the way, when they were talking about cytokine storms during COVID, they were talking about, now I can say COVID and not be shut down. It's weird.
Yeah.
But they were talking about, really what they were indirectly talking about was the homocysteine-related IL-8 and MCP1 and other cytokines that you might have floating around. So we look at a number of them with that MaxGen report we do. But it doesn't matter because glutathione can mitigate them all.
Yeah.
And we watch it drop them like stones.
Yeah. I've seen people ask several times too on our videos, because we mentioned several different ways to reduce inflammation. And glutathione is one of the major pathways to do that. Big. SOD is another one. Even you've talked about high-dose melatonin as another way. There are many pathways to reduce inflammation, and inflammation is caused by many different things.
Yeah,
especially the different genetics that you have.
But I think the most common cause is that freaking high homocysteine.
Totally.
And just people don't know it. They search all their life for what's causing their inflammation, and then they try glutathione because they heard me say something. You go ahead and you do that. You see what happens. See if it drops. Get your doctor to check that IL-8. See if it's dropped to normal.
I mean, it may be better than nothing, just using any random glutathione or just taking NAC. It's definitely better than doing nothing for it. But yeah, use the ones that actually work that can have real benefits.
Yeah, that patents are validated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so moving on, we could talk about homocysteine forever.
Oh, yeah.
But another very interesting gene that you see all the time is with the creation of phosphatidylcholine.
Yeah, it's PMT. Just because I heard Ben Lynch mention something about it originally, and that kind of blew me away. I'd seen PMT for years. I didn't realize it was a nightmare. It was. I started digging into it. PMT Let me tell you what we're finding with it. All 17 of my ulcerative colitis Crohn's disease patients have PEMT. They're all homozygous. When you treat them for PEMT with phosphatidylcholine and glutathione, they seem to work together because glutathione studies have shown, the NIH have done, and there have been done, published on PubMed, that it rejuvenates hepatocytes and gets rid of scar tissue in the liver, or prevents scarring. So we build our liposomes with a phosphatidylcholine, sunflower lecithin-based phosphatidylcholine. And that's what Ben Lynch said you should use, mainly because it's in his glutathione. His glutathione, though, does not pass standard. It's not VARS, not VARS capable. It doesn't meet that standard. But it does have phosphatidylcholine in it. Well, so does ours. And so we get people better. I've gotten a bunch of people off liver transplant lists, all that. Just so
incredible.
Yeah, because it's phosphatidylcholine, and so ulcerative colitis, chronic pancreatitis or intermittent pancreatitis, Crohn's disease, mainly NAFLD, fatty liver disease, gallbladder disease that follows by NAFLD and NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. That's really the pathway of PMT. The ulcerative colitis Crohn's disease is just something we're starting to discover. But there's already articles on PubMed about how phosphatidylcholine is the new miracle drug. It's not a drug. It's something we make in our body. Someone will patent it now or some goofy thing. Actually you can't make it, especially if you're double homozygous. I saw 2 of those reports this weekend. Those people and I are going to have a conversation. A lot of them are already in liver problems, bad liver situations, or they've had gut problems all their life. Intermittent gut problems, gallbladder disease, fatty liver, you better be looking for PEMT because you're probably in trouble and don't even know it, but you will be.
Do you think those people have MTHFR too?
I don't know if it matters that much.
Okay.
Sorry, but I haven't found that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. Of course they do, but yeah. So
you got to treat one thing specifically.
They come to me for MTHFR because of that book I wrote, but and I've written 30 books. Why that one? It was number one overall on Amazon for 2 years, the 85% solution. But that's just, it gets them through the door, and then I'm like, MTHFR is like the least of your problems. You got nightmares. So, and they're easily mitigated, so not really nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, I can't treat them, but I can mitigate them.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't know. So are you working on any papers or anything for PEMT?
I need to do that in that homocysteine paper. I get caught in the weeds treating people. I get about 4 or 5 PMT cases now a day. I get probably 4 homocysteine cases a day. It's time consuming. I got to go through all their genetics and look at their labs, and man, a lot of work. And yeah, I can't wait till Jared gets here.
Yeah, definaddefinitely.
Jared's his brother and my stepson. He's in his first year residency. 2 more years, he's going to bail out, be done. I advise him to do family practice, get it done, get board certified, do a year of service somewhere, Indian Health, somewhere, I don't care, somewhere good that's helpful, and then get here and get to work.
Yeah.
We got 3 more years.
We're trying to copy paste you. But
I raised him. He's been, he knows all about this stuff. I send him articles and stuff about it occasionally. Just keep him on his toes.
You even have one little grandkid that's literally a mini you.
That's Finn.
So I'm hoping one day he grows up to be a doctor.
Finn Danny Purser,
Yeah.
Lives in New York. I hate that. Too far away.
So we've talked about our encapsulated version and the different work that's on there now. I saw some people asking if that is a liposomal product, and yes.
Yeah, it is.
Our capsule version is liposomal.
Yeah, but if you have trouble with sunflower lecithin phosphatidylcholine, don't take it.
Yeah.
That's the only problem I've seen people reacting to it. But we're going to see if we can fix that problem here shortly.
Yeah. Yeah, we've always got fun things in the works, always.
Yeah.
And then, IV glutathione. We talked about this a little bit. But there are tons of IV glutathiones out there.
Yeah.
So what?
There's tons of oral glutathione out there too. They have validation in that you use them in the ER or ICU. Yeah. We're headed down that pathway quickly, strongly to develop the first IV glutathione for FDA approval, ICU use. There's a big need medically for alcohol toxicity, Tylenol overdose, drug overdose. They could literally give it on the scene. That person could be at a drug overdose or out of alcohol toxicity or Tylenol toxicity by the time they get to the ER with the ambulance ride. Or at least headed down that path, a good path. Mm-hmm. We just need to get it through the process. We already have an IV company that's worked on some other stuff that's gotten FDA approval, so we're crawling into bed with them eventually. So
yeah, no, very similar to like the med bed treatments, doing functional
Tesla
IV.
MedBed. Not that they're related to Tesla, but that's a company. I know they got an FDA warning for making clones, so I don't want to, cause any more problems for them. But if anyone knows Tesla, have them call us, or because we're gonna have to go visit them eventually.
Yeah. So what's the biggest hurdle of truly functional IV glutathione?
The Me Too's, the people out there claiming they have a functional glutathione. There's a lot of background noise on glutathione. It's amazing. I mean, think about it. I have the only patented one on the planet for oral use. Everyone should be buying it. But everyone's like, well, these guys have this. These guys have that. Really? Yeah, so do I. I mean, I could have a thick head of hair, but it'd be a wig. I mean, it's just not real. So the advertisements can say one thing, but court reality and going in front of the FDA and going to the patent office are completely different things. So, I don't know. We're just too small to get it out there, though. I think in the next year we're going to have a lot more cash flow and be able to do a lot more with it, and we'll start getting the word out more. You guys need to try it. It's a major game changer for a lot of people. Probably the number one symptom of low glutathione is brain fog. Mm-hmm. Really weird, but you take it and it should clear your brain out like within a day. It's quite noticeable.
Yeah,
because our liposomal oral liquid was.
Yeah.
So
I remember even almost 20 years ago using the very first version of Nian's glutathione.
Oh yeah, and nuts.
It cleared my brain fog even then.
Yeah. So brain fog. There are 3 causes of brain fog: low glutathione, low iron, or low. What was the other one?
CoQ10.
Low what?
CoQ10.
Yeah, low CoQ10. Thanks.
Yeah.
Those 3. So now you know what to hit. Bad brain fog. Try those.
So if you had a truly functional IV glutathione, what diseases could you really treat with it, or what potentials could it have?
What would we think of?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely alcohol overdose, which is a major problem. Tylenol overdose, number one cause of attempted suicide in the world. APAP, acetaminophen overdose. I shouldn't say Tylenol. Please forgive me, Tylenol people. Definitely alcohol overdose. Any drug overdose, unknown drug. You pull up on a scene, you don't know what this person's overdosed on, run glutathione because it could save their life for a number of different reasons. Burns, kidney insults or assaults by toxins, heavy metals, stuff like that. Heavy metal poisoning, because we know just taking the oral form that you dump a lot of metals out quickly, and it's crazy. It's endless. It's literally endless. Also, drug resistant bacteria because it removes the biofilm.
That's right.
Big studies on that. Also, for infected arthroses or joint infections like artificial joints, stuff like that. Instead of having them pulled and replaced, get the IV glutathione or get the liquid IV glutathione into the joint because it removes the biofilm and gets rid of the drug resistant bacteria, so drugs will kill it. It's a game changer.
What about cystic fibrosis? Would an IV be beneficial to
No.
Not for that.
No, but we've always thought we could develop an inhaled version of our non-liposomal, of course, glutathione for kids with cystic fibrosis. Be a massive game changer for them too. We just haven't done it yet. If anyone has a little pocket money that wants to help us with something, we'll sit down and talk. I don't know how we'd do that, but got to do it legally and meet all the investment requirements, all that. And we're not selling stocks or shares or anything. So,
one thing I wanted to mention: current emergency treatments for like acetaminophen overdose is Mucomist.
Yeah, which is NAC.
NAC and acetylcysteine.
Because they're trying to get you to make more glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not get the glutathione?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, also, another interesting thing we found is there's a big ICU near us, an emergency room near us, and they occasionally will reach out to us for herpetic encephalopathy, really EBV. Epstein-Barr virus encephalopathy. But because it can make you comatose. Yes, Epstein-Barr can make you comatose. Wow. And glutathione gets rid of it. They usually wake up within 3 to 8 hours. So that's just weird use. I don't know if I'll do it with everyone, but it did it with the 3 patients or 4 patients they've used it on so far.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Prominent family, too, that did it with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's endless what it can do.
Definitely. I
think. But we know more about it than anyone. The rest of these guys are kind of, they're well-meaning, but they just don't have it. So be careful where you spend your money. But tonight you could spend it. Yes, I'm terrible at this. That was pretty smooth. Yeah, you could spend it on our website and get a 50% discount. Well, they got to say I'm a monkey.
15%. I don't know if you said 50. But.
Let's say I'm a monkey. 15%. Yeah. I'm a goober. No, what is it?
Just Master Antioxidant.
Oh, Master Antioxidant. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, got it. Sorry, I really screwed that up.
Yeah.
You're not a goober. If you don't know me by now, I tease everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're all getting teased right now. Master Antioxidant. Buy it and get it now because it's pretty incredible stuff. This is going to be a great year for medicine. Go RFK. Go. Yeah, all that. And it's going to be a wonderful year for medicine, especially for us people. So I deal in root causes. If you're really tired all the time, no one can figure it out. If you're exhausted. So when I was down in California working with Nyan and Chin and the team down there, we do this intracellular vitamin testing. That was so beyond cool that I used it up here in the plastic surgery group I was in to deal with complex wound issues. But I since found that it answers a lot of weird problems and does really cool things. And it's a root cause treatment. And for example, last year I diagnosed 7 scurvy cases. So, and no one could figure out what they were. They've been to rheumatologists, endodontists, periodontists, oral surgeons, infectious disease, rheumatologists, got everyone, and just nothing could be found. Really, it's a vitamin C deficiency. If it was 1904, they would have known in a heartbeat. By gumbo, you have scurvy, my lass. Now, here, I can't put your teeth back and you look horrible, but take some of this lemon. Here, squeeze a lime in your mouth. Yeah, but yeah. But we can't recognize that now. We've lost that skill set. So I've seen Wernicke cases like Wernicke-Korsakoff, which is also can be called beriberi from a thiamine deficiency. I saw a super severe riboflavin case this last year in an Olympian. Wow. He didn't go to the Olympics, poor guy, because he lost numb feeling in his hands and feet. They kept treating him for hand, foot, and mouth at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, to the point that he was almost dead. He couldn't feed himself. His grandma was having to take care of him, but he got better. So,
what was the cause of that?
Riboflavin, B2.
But how did he get such a massive deficiency? What happened?
No one could figure it out. They dinked around with him for a year or 2.
Wow,
just messed up his life.
Yeah.
So that no one could figure out what the diagnosis was.
Yeah.
They were sure it was a parasite or some kind of virus, Coxsackie virus, causing hand, foot, and mouth disease. No, they never got a positive result back, but they kept treating him for it. Steroids, everything else. That's not going to fix a riboflavin deficiency. That's like, I've never seen a fluoxetine deficiency, but man, a lot of people get put on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, weird.
I just remembered we didn't mention the third use of glutathione, what the NIH, what the FDA allows for like supplement glutathione to be used for. So we said antioxidant support, detox support, and then third is immune system support.
Oh yeah, definitely support. Well, we talked about that to begin with.
Yeah,
your immune system uses it to go after viruses.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should create a video of that, my hand with a yellow pen and chasing a virus somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I've tried to make a couple basic graphics.
Let me do that better. Here's the virus.
Yeah. Stabs them.
Sorry, I'm being an idiot now. Okay. Are there any questions?
There are some questions, but one thing I wanted to talk about, kind of going back to the COVID years, and we can talk a little bit about it now. But just the way what we're just saying with immune system.
Well, Polanikov wrote that article that was huge, Polanikov, about that what caused death and destruction with I've got it saved in my iPad, but we can post it for you. Is low glutathione levels, because that causes high D-dimer. So we went to the University of Utah to try and get our glutathione. They talked to us the year before about getting FDA approved for tardive, and then suddenly they didn't want to talk to us about getting FDA approved to help ICU patients with COVID, because it was really weird conversations we had at the pharmacology department up there, which is really dark. Anyway, but yeah, because glutathione, if your glutathione level's low, they found that out in China. They then found it out in Korea. They confirmed it in France and Great Britain. And then Polanikov was an ICU specialist in University Hospital that only speaks English, oddly enough. In Russia, he wrote this article on it. I know because I was in some communication with him at the time, because we had the only viable oral glutathione in the world. So, so it's really interesting that he wrote that article. It's the landmark article. You should look it up if you get a chance. Do you have it?
I don't have it. Not easy access right now. No.
Okay, maybe
we need to find it. We can post it.
I've got it in here. I save it, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, because so we wanted to put all patients on our oral glutathione or topical or whatever to get their D-dimer down.
Yeah,
it suppresses D-dimer. We had studies that showed it could drop it quickly.
Yeah,
there are lots of studies that show it does do that theoretically and otherwise.
Yeah. The people on TikTok were asking if you're ordering glutathione, VARS Glutathione on the TikTok shop, it automatically has 15% coupon applied to it. For everyone else, physiciandesign.com. The code is MASTER ANTIOXIDANT.
Yeah. Just play with it. Grab some if you're interested. Use it if you get something or if you feel like it. You'll know it if it's right for you. But like, holy cow, what is this freaking magic? Yeah. Take 2 or 3 a day at least to build up to that. Some of you've got a detox. Be careful. Take 1 to begin with. Then drink a lot of water because you're going to put out a lot of weird crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Urine's
going to be funky. So, and we've done studies on that. It was funky.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I'm sure they think I'm funky. So.
I definitely think you're pretty funky. That's true.
But I meant funny. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I misspoke.
I'm trying to find a good question here. I thought I saw something.
Sure, there are a lot of good questions.
There's always a bunch of them, but I was having a hard time keeping up with everything. There were a lot of people talking about POTS and everything else going alongside with these things.
POTS.
Mm-hmm.
POTS. I'm going to tell you. Call my office. Get a CMA. POTS is. Please forgive me, all you POTS specialists, everyone else. It's for, I don't know what the heck is going on, but we're going to guess at this. I think that's what POTS stands for. The intracellular vitamin. I see iron deficiencies when the serum levels don't show it, and it would of course do that. And I see lysine deficiencies. Look up lysine. Ask Grok or one of those. Low lysine level will cause POTS. And the wobbliness and everything else just goes away. So I can't think of the last time I didn't treat a POTS case successfully.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters to anyone. I don't even know if there's POTS people listening, but
yeah, there always are. I mean, that's one of the topics that you get a ton of traction on every time we post anything about.
Oh yeah, I love POTS cases. They're not a problem. I like them.
Yeah. It is interesting.
That sounded cocky. They are a problem for you. They're making more of it than I think needs to be made.
Yeah.
Because even the severe cases I've had, they, give me 3 to 6 months, we'll get rid of it.
Oh, very similar to the Crohn's and the other issues that you're treating too.
Read the literature.
Yeah, these are things that people have suffered with their whole lives, if not years and years. And you found very quick and simple ways to just.
If you know someone with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, turn them on to me. I love those cases.
Yeah, it's cool.
Matter of fact, if they don't have the money, I'll just tell them what to take. It's what to try.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I've seen a couple times people asking about using a binder with glutathione.
It's just a popular new thing. No,
I've never seen.
No, you don't need a
about
binder. Glutathione is the binder.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Exactly
the
what I'm
natural
talking
binder your body makes.
Yeah.
White blood cells use it to bind, attach. You don't need a binder. Stop that.
about. Yeah. No, the sulfhydryl group on there, the sticky part, your
Yeah,
yellow
it's the
highlighter,
binder.
That's
Yeah,
what
it's
it
the
is.
nuclear binder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Save your money.
Mm-hmm.
Binders. Oh God. Sorry.
Let's see. There's an interesting.
So can you tell I'm so Western MD? I get kind of peeved at some of the stuff. I'm like, people don't buy into all this stuff. It's, yeah. I'm very science, research based, so I don't know. I'm probably annoying y'all.
I've saw a couple times people asking about Huntington's disease.
Huntington's chorea because it's similar to tardive.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think we can help it, but it could be a misdiagnosed tardive case. So this is tardive early on.
Yeah.
Here I'm showing them.
Oh, yeah, the twitching.
Yeah. Yeah, or they do something repetitively, can't stop it. And then eventually they're doing this. Tongue's all swollen, they're rocking. I mean, yeah. If it's this and you see your doctor said, you got tardive, try what the NIH has suggested, glutathione. So, or they tried in a study, but
Yeah.
their study didn't work for some bizarre reason.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a reduced glutathione or something. 2004. No.
It's crazy what they talk about the cause of tardive coming from taking certain antipsychotic medications.
Any medication can cause it.
Wow.
You could be on antihistamine. You could be on Nexium
Yeah.
and get it. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. But again, one of those things, it's just a simple fix. Give your body more of what it uses to deal with those
Yeah,
things.
antioxidants. Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
And it works.
They tried high dose vitamin C. The first study I saw them do was high dose vitamin C IV. Then that's in the 80s. Then the 90s they tried. Medicine was still pretty high end in the 80s. People, yeah, because I started medical school back then. In the 90s they tried ubiquinol. Really high dose CoQ10 had some mild results. They tried glutathione as the ultimate antioxidant, didn't have the result, but they didn't have reduced glutathione either when they did the study. It's just, yeah, they said they did, but they didn't. So,
Yeah.
okay. Have I bored everyone to death? We've been at this over an hour.
Yeah, we've just got hit an hour. No, we've got some other good questions, and we always try to get in there and answer them later.
Okay,
too.
well, okay, you want to ask me if you know?
No, there's just a couple random ones here and there, but I think we're okay to wrap up for now.
Okay, we love you. Thank you for watching. I know I probably bored you to death. This is cool stuff. This is high tech. This is the future, like RFK talks about, and Elon Musk talk about. I don't know if you like those guys. I don't care, but I don't know them, and they seem like good guys or trying to be good guys. So this is the future of medicine, and it's really neat to talk about it. Let's see if we get it there. This stuff hasn't been FDA approved for anything, not claiming we can cure anything or treat anything. It's just nice to deal with a few deficiencies when you got them. Amazing things happen when you do that. So
one other thing, if you want to come work with Dr. Purser, jump on our schedule, get some of this testing done, and come get a consult. If you're dealing with any of these things that we talked about tonight, or you're just dragging and you don't know why, let's get some basic testing on you. Let's see, because we can flip it.
We have a new bifurcated system for people that don't have as much money. I still review your chart and do everything, but Justice, and who's a top ICU paramedic for Orem City here, and just my son-in-law, great kid. Great young man. He's not a kid. He's like 6'4" and looks like Thor. He might be talking to you, or he can buy some of my time because it's become overwhelming. I could work 70, 80 hours a week. It wouldn't be enough. So
yeah, and just a reminder, our testing is available worldwide.
Worldwide.
And so we can work with you wherever you're at. If you're in Europe or Australia, even
we have some really
Singapore.
cool Irish patients, Saudi patients, African patients, even crazy Ghana, and in other countries, Australian, Japanese. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Singaporean patients. I've had them in the past. You're out there. I know you suffer just because you live in the best, craziest country, coolest country in the world. I'm here for you.
Yeah. One other thing, I just want to kind of throw this out there because I think it'd be really fun. And what we've done in the past, doing like Purser hormone health events, I'm just throwing that out to everyone in the universe. Would it be something interesting to have Dr. Purser come and do an event somewhere near you? Even just something small and basic, come and chat with us live and come and ask your questions, and we can do some good presentations on a lot of these things that we're working on.
What are you setting me up for, man? That sounds brutal.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
I used to do those 500 person hormone health events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were a lot of fun. I think people really enjoyed those a lot. People love to be around you.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. It is weird. I don't get it at
I
all.
get grumpy.
I don't care to be around you too much, but
I'm kind of crotchety. Just when I'm sick.
Okay, yeah. we need to wrap it up. We've been just
now
chatting.
Yeah, playing.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. God bless. That's what I always say. Try to end these. God bless and go in good health. Stay safe and remember, try natural options first. I am an MD. I'm a Western MD. I'm licensed and everything, but this stuff I'm really doing is nutritional counseling. Doesn't really, you don't even have to be licensed for it, but I'm really, really good at it. So it's cool. I love you guys. Thanks for supporting us and listening. We love you. Take care. Go in good health.